friends to Max Q Barbecue. My name is Craig, and today we're going to be cooking a holiday brisket for episode 12. For today's cook, our star of the show today will be this 13-pound prime, USDA prime brisket. And we're going to be doing it low and slow, so we're going to take our time and really let those flavors soak in. So let's get started. Our ingredients for today's cook is going to be coarse ground kosher salt, restaurant ground black pepper, Lowry seasoned salt, and for our injection, we're going to be using some beef broth and Cosmo Q original brisket injection. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. While you were away, we went ahead and got our brisket trimmed up. Those of you that have been watching the channel for a while know that I'm a minimalist when it comes to trimming up a brisket. However, today, because we're doing a holiday brisket, I took a little bit of extra time and trimmed away a little more of our meat and our fat just to round up the brisket and make it smooth. The other thing I didn't do was to separate the point and the flat like I normally do because today we're going to be going for more of holiday slices, and so we want the brisket to kind of be really flat and smooth, and that's what we have here today. Check it out, it's really beautiful. We have 1/3 cup of Cosmo Q beef brisket injection mixed up with 1 cup of beef broth. Let's get this brisket injected. We have our brisket injected, and now it's time to layer on our rub. We're going to start our rub today with coarse ground restaurant grind black pepper, and we're going to start with a nice heavy smooth coat all the way down the brisket. Get plenty of that black pepper on there for plenty of good brisket flavor. The next layer is going to be our kosher salt. Again, nice thick heavy layer. Make sure you get those edges. And don't worry about getting too much on here. Remember, this is a big piece of meat, and all of this is really on the outside. Much of it will fall off, but it will help us to build a nice bark and a nice pretty edge on our brisket. And finally, we top it off with our Lowry seasoned salt. That's all it is to... Welcome back, friends. Our pit is up to 250 degrees, 261 at the grate level, 268. As well on some of the other Thermomox probes. We're going to grab our brisket and throw it on the pit. Pop this puppy open. See, it's nice and clean there. We have our regular probe set up. We've got 2 probes that will be monitoring the temperature of the meat today, and our probe for our grate temperature over here on the left-hand corner right by the smoke collector. So let's grab this brisket. We're going to put the brisket, look at that pretty piece of meat. We're going to put our brisket fat cap up and point towards the fire. Gonna lay that right in there. Got a little too close to the smoke. We're going to put one of our probes right here in the point and our second probe here in the flat. We can monitor our cook temperature, and we'll let this thing go for a couple of 3 hours and let it start taking on some of that smoke, and that'll be getting our cook started today. Start time is 12:45, so it's likely to be a late evening before we get this brisket off of the fire. Welcome back, friends. Let me introduce you to my neighbor over here. This is Hobbs, and Hobbs likes barbecue too. Welcome back, friends. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and it's time to take a look at our brisket and see how we're doing. I want to go ahead and spritz it and flip it over. Currently it's on the fat side up, and I want to put it meat side down. Got my silicone gloves on here so I can rotate it, and so let's take a look, see how this brisket looks. Look at that. We've got nice bark forming on here. Still fat's pretty hard, hadn't really softened up. I've got a tray over here with our trimmings in there, making some tallow out of it, beef tallow. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up my probes here. Go ahead and spray a little bit on the bottom here of some of my apple cider vinegar. Put that down nice and good. Well, this is going to be a pretty brisket. Notice how much smoother and rounder it is with the cut, the way I trimmed it today. More of a... And there's our meat side there. So we're going to go ahead and coat that down with some apple cider vinegar. Let the bark form up here on top. Okie doke. Get my probes put back in. That probe into the end of the point and this one into the flat. There we go. Alrighty, we'll be back. Check on it in about an hour. Welcome back, friends. It's now just a little bit after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Our brisket's been on for about 4 hours. We just fed the fire, and so it's got a little more smoke coming in, but what we're going to do is go ahead and spritz it down, getting a nice color to it. This will keep the edges from heating up too much, but certainly coming along. Our current temperature internally is 162 and 144. Probably let it go for another hour before we maybe take it out, wrap it with some aluminum foil and finish it in the oven. But all's good here, looking great on the pit. Friends, it's about 5:20 p.m. Sun's already gone down. It's quite dark here, cold and overcast. But want to get in here and spritz our briskets, get a nice bark on it. It's not probe tender, but it's still not up to temperature. So currently looking at 160 and 146. This is our tallow. So coming along here. Probably another couple hours, we'll go wrap it and put it in the oven. Welcome back, friends. It's now 6:15, 6:20 in the evening, and our brisket has been on here for about 6 hours. At this point, we're going to go ahead and take it inside and finish it in the oven. So let's get it off of here. We're going to pull our probes and pull our brisket. Looking really, really good. Of course, it's not done yet, but it's got nice color and nice bark on it. It's going to be really pretty brisket. So we're going to lay it there on our aluminum foil and bring it inside. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this brisket open. Note that it's chilled. It's just come out of the refrigerator, so we're not going to see a lot of juice because it's all gelled up. But you will be able to see the smoke ring and how well the brisket is cooked. Look how pretty that is. And check this out. Just gorgeous. So we're going to take this and we're going to go ahead and pinpoint our grain, and we're going to start cutting some slices off of here. Okay, there's some of the flat. Look how pretty those slices are. And then we're going to go around here for our point and start cutting here across the grain. Notice how much easier it is to make thin slices when you've got it chilled and cold, as opposed to when it's hot. It would be coming apart. Welcome back, friends. We've finished slicing up our brisket. It's all sliced and out here on the tray. And now we're going to put it away for our future meals. And we're going to use our vacuum sealer here to vacuum bag our brisket and put it away. Generally what we like to do is take like one portion or one meal size full of brisket, and we pop it in the bag, stick it onto our vacuum sealer, get the part that goes into the vacuum sealer in the channel. Press it down. All right, it's all done. We pop this in the freezer, and when we're ready to have a brisket meal, either to make brisket sandwiches, or I like to cook some vegetables and have some brisket with it, I pull out a serving, thaw it out, heat it up, and there you have it. We have brisket, smoked, delicious brisket that we can store away in our freezer for future use. Well, I hope you enjoyed our video this week, and we'll see you on the next trip. Take care, and thanks for watching.